Let me go and get this shit, this new Quartelz shit. Obviously the Quartelz stuff won out. Thank y'all for sticking by. Just drag this up on screen, don't worry about it. Where even fucking is this shit? Why is every day a new hell? This is our lives now in Trump's America? In Trump's America? Really? This shit happens? Oh shit. In Trump's America? This is what our lives have come to. We now live in the darkest timeline, where Trump is president twice! It's like the only thing I'll say about the fucking elections. I don't give a fuck about the elections. I'm with Kristen Ark on this. As long as my groceries are cheap, I don't care who fucking wins. Cause I'm already, like, struggling to, like, spend my grocery money appropriately. And make it, like, last. I just want to afford food! I know. That's what most normal people care about. We just want to live. Okay. Let me grab the right window here. If there's no music in this video, it won't be a normal call-out video, but also that'd be great, so I don't have to pause mine.
Hello everyone, my name is Kai.
Why is it so quiet, dude? Wait, is that just me? Am I stupid?
May know me / have known me as Quartelz's bestie, Pookie, and in lack of other
Guys, I can't. I seriously. Okay, hold on. I can turn this up.
terms, a friend of theirs.
Here.
Hello everyone, my name is Kai. You may know me / have known me as Quartelz's bestie, Pookie, and in lack of other terms, a friend of theirs. Today I'm going to be sharing my personal experience with Quartelz and going over the allegations that have been spread throughout Tumblr and other
Trigger warning, grooming, and I swear to God, if this goes over the same, like, voided shit, I'm skipping that, because we've already gone over it.
social platforms, debunking some and proving others. Starting off with the following statements from Voided. Yeah, I can 100% confirm they sleep together in VR chat commonly. And ugh, them having a whole ship name for it and everything when it's clearly just trying to fill the space that Iris and Razzie had, it's sickening. Mel's incapable of OCXOC without projecting, in my experience.
I'm already, like, I already feel like my brain is gonna melt right out of my ear from this shit. I'm like struggling to care.
So this is nasty, man. What Voided is referring to in this screenshot is me and Mel
I have the volume turned up so much and I still barely hear it, so I'm sorry.
Shipping Kaya and Raspberry. When me and Mel had shipped these OCs, I was unaware that Mel was projecting onto Razzie at all. I had thought it was a good and fun
I thought it was just a fun thing to do. Whatever.
OC thing at the time. But as I looked back, I soon did realize...
Do you know about the Quartelz response video? We'll take a look at it after this.
...that Mel was more likely than not...
I gotta put this on, like, 2x speed.
...projecting onto Raspberry. Which is a little concerning, considering the super romantic and suggestive undertones it did have. However, it was not sexual in the way that is compared to how Iris and Razzie were portrayed. Here's an example of Iris and Raspberry from Voided's Tumblr, and then here's an example of Kaya and Raspberry from...
So... How old is your OC? Is the OC, like, the same age as you? Is the OC you have, like, also a minor?
No. As you can see by these provided images, they are eerily similar, if not just for the OC's designs, but as well as their personalities and general relationship. For the more suggestive undertones it did have, it was in a more joking format, but it was still not okay, as I was 15 years old at the time. The jokes that we made
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
included things such as Kaya looking at Raspberry's bong dildo collection, joking about drawing Raspberry in a suit without the back of it. Absolutely. And referencing future sexual acts between the two, joking about one of them being more forceful than the other. This was in VC, so I do not have any screenshots referencing this, unfortunately. Self-admittedly, most of the suggestive joking and undertones were done by me.
I mean, basically, like, my opinion on, like, you know, my opinions on Quartelz being inappropriate with, like, a 15 as an 18-year-old is, like, kind of the same as I've said before in my video and in my live stream, where it's, like, it's not that, like, egregious considering that it's just a 3-year age gap. However, and, like, with Quartelz having, like, grown up in this environment as a kid herself, she would have been, like, conditioned into believing that it's okay for adults to act this way around minors. However, as with her having been, like, 18, like, 17 to 18 during these times, I'm willing to, like, give her grace, but, like, now that she's 19, it's like she needs to, like, absolutely, you know, exactly, Vil, like, break the cycle, like, stop hanging around minors, you have to start being an adult, and you can't do this shit anymore. Like I said in my video, I tend to give a grace period to, like, people who, like, have just turned 18 or are 18. And it's like, 18 is like that, in my mind, it's like that learning period, that transition period of, like, this is no longer okay to do anymore. Even if you're not technically breaking any laws or breaking any, like, rules. It's like, but now that Quartelz is 19, this shit that Kai is talking about, it absolutely needs to stop. And if she's going to continue acting this way, she needs to do it with other adults.
But Mel is still at fault here, as she is the adult and still chose to engage and encourage this behavior from me. Mel should not have agreed to ship these OCs while being aware of the character design similarities, my age, and knowing she would and has projected onto Razzie in the past. I'm honestly glad the relationship wasn't taken any further than this, as I have no idea what we would have done with them, sexual or not. I will mention, as a side note, as for the ship name, that was suggested by a mutual friend of ours, and we had gone with it as it was cute. This friend has also come to realize that their
Wow, I don't care about the fucking ship name. I really don't.
all seemed to melt away when she got to know her better and became a chronic VR chat addict with her, deciding that she wasn't as immature as I made her out to be. I would like to start this section off by saying there are a lot of weird things that are normalized to young kids and adults through VR chat. This
Like, basically, Kai is saying it was never taken further sexually, but it could have been. It could have been. I mean, you can't accuse somebody of maybe they could have, like, sexually abused you. They either did or they didn't.
This does not make these things okay, but I hope it is able to at least help you understand why some of these things were done. Let's start with the first thing. Cuddling / snuggling up to me. Mel's been seen laying on me, sitting with me, and being generally very physically affectionate to me on VR chat. Here are some.
That's not physical affection. That's not physical affection! You guys need to log off! Get off the internet! You raped me in VR chat! They were caught snuggling in VR chat! No! Can I skip this part? I really don't care about the VR chat stuff.
Regarding Mel's behavior on VR chat with me will be displayed now.
I think some suggestive joke. This is testimony. I don't care.
Shit from an outsider view. And if you think that's bad, trust me, it just keeps getting worse. While on the topic of VR chat, I will.
If you think that's bad.
Our mutual friend on VR. We will call them Pink for now, so it's easier to differentiate between screenshots.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
And due to the fact they want to stay anonymous. Pink was someone we met on VR chat in a public has-been hotel world. With this, it is good to acknowledge that Pink is 16 years old.
Why am I not surprised? It not only is it in VR chat, but it was in a has-been hotel world in VR chat. Hang on, I need to back up again.
And due to the fact they want to stay anonymous. Pink was someone we met on VR chat in a public has-been hotel world. With this, it is good to acknowledge that Pink is 16 years old. Mel and Pink got closer within the few weeks of them knowing each other, but during this time, Pink had no idea what Mel's true intentions were. Mel and Pink were very affectionate towards each other through VR, whether it was—
What true intentions? It's a 2-year age gap, I should point out.
cuddling, game advantages, or head patting. They were almost always on each other. The first thing wrong with this is the most obvious. Pink is 16, making them have a similar age gap me and Mel do. The second and more important—
It's actually a closer age gap than you and Mel. I think it's fine for, like, a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old to be, like, to do hugging, cuddling, and head pats. Sorry? N-words want to be victims so fucking bad. Not trying to excuse the actual situation and how wrong it is for what were kids doing this behavior because it's normalized to them. Like, I don't think these kids should be engaging with adults in this way, but it's like, is this what phantom touch means for VR people? I had a friend that, like, genuinely believed that they had, like, the phantom touch power. So stupid. What you need to do, kid, is get offline. That's what you need to do. Get offline, live a life outside of the internet. Please. You will thank your you will thank your past self if you do that for yourself. I guarantee it. You need to find a life outside of the internet. This shit is rotting your fucking brain.
The important thing wrong with this was the fact that Mel would brutally talk shit and make fun of Pink behind their back.
So? That's not a crime. That's not a crime. Are we accusing Mel of, like, virtually sexually assaulting this person now because they cuddled with them in VR chat and then talked shit behind their back? Wow, I don't care.
Mel and I were both friends with these people, though primarily at the time it was her own friend group. One time we were all in a private sunset bar world, which if you don't know—
I don't care, it's VR chat. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck. What is this supposed to be? What are these screenshots supposed to be?
Please do not try to find these people for their own privacy and keep these jokes and advances towards them to begin with. Most of these instances—
Speak up! Speak up, bitch! I can hardly hear you!
tab were the constant sexual / unsavory jokes made towards the minors by the adults. It did go the other way.
Oh, by the way, I should address something that Voided did leave a comment on my Quartelz video saying that, like, there's a lot of context that I missed in terms of like the sexual assault allegations that were levied from Voided to Mel. And it's like, the video that you watched missed a lot of the context, or it didn't have the proper context, or you didn't read my Tumblr post. It's like, I'm sorry, but there's no context in the entire world that would convince me that you were sexually assaulted over the internet in a consensual, like, sexual act. There is no context that would ever convince me of that. I'm sorry.
Way around, but it is the adult's responsibility to stop the minor from making these jokes and advances towards them to begin with.
His... Yes? But, oh my god,
Most of
okay.
these instances admittedly happened on VC, but there are.
Alright, so let's just see some of these screenshots.
Please do not try to find these people for their own privacy.
What is this? So that's Melmon. My schlong is bigger than that. 16 years old, I'm gonna touch you. That's my... You don't want to see when the dragon is hard. Wait, this was in September? When did my video come out? Hang on a second. When did I put out my video on Quartelz? Oh, fuck. That's so loud. September 16th. So you were Quartelz, you were still doing this shit! You gotta stop! You gotta stop. But also, I mean, like, maybe they prove it in the video, I don't know, but like, I don't know. It's 16, 19. It's still inappropriate. Like, obviously, Quartelz needs to stop. Find adult friends your age. If you are aware that these people are minors and you're like, just don't... Like, even if you think... Oh, Jesus Christ. Kiwi and Mel being sexual in front of minors. Yeah, just... You gotta stop. Just stop making friends. No, stop making friends with minors on the internet. Hornet, let's not reduce it to, like, let's not generalize it. It's not stop making friends on the internet. It's stop making friends with minors on the internet. Yes, make friends with people your own age. Like, even if the age gap is minuscule, even if it's like between even if like you're 18 and the other party's 17, just don't. Just fucking don't. Just stay away from that shit. It's just better. You're better off that way. Make friends with people your own age. And who are adults. Oh boy.
Just by looking at these, it becomes quite apparent what kind of things did actually go down the tab. Mel and all of the other adults that were involved should have never engaged or encouraged this behavior in front of or around anyone that was underage in that server. It's extremely inappropriate and unacceptable behavior to be having around minors. Our second point of interest
Yes, you'd be correct.
grooming / touching kids jokes. Once again, a lot of these jokes did happen through VC, so I don't have
if you don't have proof. I mean, like, look. People make pedophilia jokes all the time. You can say that's inappropriate. I would say making pedophilia jokes around kids? Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, maybe don't do that.
evidence for this claim. However, I do have one screenshot of Chloe exhibiting this behavior.
You won't judge me if I make a I touched kids joke, right? That's my humor. I have a clip my boyfriend took. Stop, Lamau.
Behavior through text, and it shows that Mel does not care about these jokes being made. Our
Yeah, just don't. Don't!
third point of interest is the extensive talk about Oni and Lulu within the tab server. Mel had made a pretty big habit of shit-talking and generally not being over
I don't care about shit talking. Sorry. I don't care about...
secrets that had come out.
Don't put shit talking and, like, typical, like, e-girl Discord drama in the same breath as, like, sexual... Like, in the same video as essay allegations.
Backed up all of the files and kept everything.
And tracing. And tracing? Bro, I don't give a fuck.
Actually use Clover sexually to get closer / more intimate with Voided. By definition, I would
Oh, god damn it. Are we doing this again? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You are Voided. Where are you? Wait.
with Voided and Clover. To summarize this, Mel essentially used Clover sexually to get closer / more intimate with Voided. By definition, I would not call this sexual assault. However, it is a form of emotional / sexual abuse towards Clover.
Wait. Wait.
And quote-unquote, not obsessed with them. I believe this is it for this section, so I will be moving on to the next one. The next thing I will be talking about is the sexual abuse of Clover and Voided.
Guys, I'm not, like... Am I deaf, or is she just, like, whispering right now? Jesus. I gotta slow this down. You're whispering! Speak up!
To early 2022, this is still really weird behavior for someone who is quote-unquote over your ex and quote-unquote not obsessed with them. I believe this is it for this section, so I will be moving on to the next one. The next thing I will be talking about is the sexual abuse
ASMR grooming allegations. ASMR. Hey guys, today I'm going to be living grooming allegation towards Quartelz. This is really serious, and I recommend that you read the trigger warnings at the beginning of the video. They did some really bad shit. Oh my god, it's the ops! Get a better microphone? No, it's probably just my, like, noise gate.
Of Clover and Voided. Mel has been proven to have done some pretty unsavory things with Voided and Clover. To summarize this...
You are Voided! Why are you talking about... This is Clover! Or no, sorry, this is Voided talking. Why is Voided talking about themselves in the third person? What is happening right now?
Mel essentially used Clover sexually to get closer / more intimate with Voided. By definition, I would not call this sexual assault, however, it is a form of emotional / sexual abuse towards Clover.
It's... I mean, okay. Debate time. Would you guys consider that sexual abuse? If you have a... Again, this brings up the situation of, like... Why are people buying... So she's like, I wouldn't call this sexual assault, but I would call this sexual abuse. It's not sexual abuse, in my opinion, to have consensual sex with somebody without being romantically interested in them. That's not sexual abuse. And plus, they didn't have sex. It was like phone sex, phone e-sex. So if this is just going over like the old allegations again, I don't really care. Okay, skipping all this. Sorry, Voided. I just don't... you're not a... Like... I'm sorry you had, like... stupid e-sex on the internet. Maybe don't do that and get a real life. Again, the solution here is to log off. Have, like, a real relationship with somebody in the real world. Not this stupid VR chat e-sex shit.
Things, I think I've talked enough.
To the grooming section. I will start this off by mentioning I do not think Mel was grooming me. Grooming is a tactic used commonly by pedophiles and manipulators. By definition, grooming is the action of attempting to form a relationship with a child or young person with
It's the worst ASMR video ever.
The intention of sexually assaulting them or inducing them to commit an illegal act. Mel, from my knowledge, was not intending to harm me or be sexual with me.
Okay, so the problem is that she's being inappropriate, like sexually inappropriate around minors and to minors, and she needs to stop. That's like the biggest issue here, in my opinion. And yes, that is absolutely something that Quartelz needs to stop doing. If she can't be trusted to monitor herself and what she says around kids, then she shouldn't be friends with minors, period. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's for their safety, you guys get it. I don't need to repeat myself.
In any sort of way.
Since they're only 2 years apart, I don't care. Why are people who just turned 18 suddenly have to know that, oh yeah, I shouldn't talk to you anymore? Well, no, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Like, if you're, I think it's more understandable if, like, you guys are similar in age, like 16, 17, 18, and then one of you in the friend group turns 18. I think that's understandable to, like, not treat them any different, but, like, you still have to, like, follow the law. Like, maybe don't send them, like, pornography, and, don't, like, just, like, don't sext with them. I think it's not that, like, you can still be friends with them since you knew each other as minors, but it's, like, just stop the sexual shit until they also turn 18. Like, I don't understand. Maybe it's because, like, I don't have, like, I don't know, like, what do they call it? I don't have, thank you, Cliff. I have, like, no libido, right? I have, like, almost zero sex drive. So maybe, like, is it really that hard to just, like, not be sexual around people that are younger than you? I don't understand. Do you need it that badly?
However, I will not deny that Mel's behavior towards me was not normal and should not have been normalized around
Yes, I agree.
me and my friends at the time. I do agree Mel was definitely using me as some sort of coping mechanism from losing Voided.
You know what? I can believe that too. I can also believe that.
A replacement in terms
and it's not
special
healthy.
Treatment is a kind of iffy term to use here, but I can definitely agree about Mel using me as a replacement.
How is the 16-year-old the most, like, sensible person in the room right now?
With this, Mal has expressed weird behavior
Just jack off privately, my goodness.
towards me within TikTok videos that they've sent and themes of conversations we've had. The TikTok videos could range from cute bestie videos to weird sexually charged ones in an ironic way to straight up relationship TikToks that are meant for your partners. I unfortunately no longer have evidence of this due to the fact that I had blocked Mel before making this video, and I have lost all our DMs because of that.
Well, I should say, maybe it's not perfectly sensible, but, like, more sensible than the rest of these people.
Here is a screenshot of her sending me a inappropriate GIF that was uncensored when it was—
Oh, no. Oh, no. Quartelz, why? Why did you do this? But wait. But wait. Hold the phone. I have to do my autistic nitpicking. Hang on. I have to do an autistic nitpick here. Hold on.
I have lost all our DMs because of that. However, here—
Okay, hold on.
making this video.
Wait a second.
Due to the fact that I had blocked Mel before making this video, and I have lost all our DMs because of that.
I blocked Mel, and so I lost all our DMs? Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Because when you block somebody, you don't lose all your DMs with them. What are you talking about? That is not how it works. I mean, yes, if, like, let's say you block somebody and then close the DM conversation, you would have to find a way to, like, be in, like, the same server with them, or, like, find them through, like, Discord, and click on the, like, message this person button to reopen the DMs, the DM conversation. But the messages are still there. They haven't been deleted. They still exist. And you can still retrieve them. Like, I did that recently with a friend where I had blocked them and closed my DMs with them. And then I had to rejoin a server that they were also in order to reopen those DMs. But yeah, they're still there. You haven't lost them. The DMs are still there. And you can open blocked messages too. So that's definitely a stretch to say that you've lost them.
However, here is a screenshot of her sending me a inappropriate GIF that was uncensored.
So, obviously, I have a really big issue with this screenshot. And you can probably, I don't even think I need to say why. Because all of the other context around this message is completely cropped out. I don't think Voided is lying, per se. However, it's cropping out the person who is sending it, and it's cropping out who it's being sent to. So, I'm gonna use myself as an example for screenshot taking. When you take screenshots, when I take screenshots, and I mostly take screenshots on my phone, I make sure to capture who I am messaging. So here, it clearly shows that this is a DM conversation between me and Vlad. It has our names in there. It has the dates. It has the entire screen of context. Even stuff that's not necessarily, like, required. Like, I could have, like, taken a screenshot of just this part, right? Without the rest of this conversation. But having that, it provides, like, some verifiable information there. And I want to, like, cross-reference this with how Voided has put other things up on screen before. I'm trying to find, like, a similar screenshot. So it does seem like this is very odd. Yeah, you shouldn't have cropped out dates, and you shouldn't have cropped out names. And you shouldn't crop out whether it's in DMs or a group chat, or who it's being sent to. So, I mean, there is kind of this habit of, like, having the screenshot at the top of the screen here, but not so much where it's getting cropped out. To me, it feels like this is, like, it's put at the top so that the name is cropped out.
And I have lost all our DMs because of that. However, here is a screenshot of her sending me a—
So this cannot be verified, but if this is true, and Quartelz did send this to a minor uncensored, that's illegal. That's really fucking bad. And again, I'm a broken record here, but Quartelz, you need to stop. Like, immediately stop. The fuck? Okay.
A inappropriate GIF that was uncensored when it was sent to me, but I censored it for the sake of this video. As I am aware, Mel has previously stated that her more sexual undertones in her jokes are just her personality. If this is the case, then she should not be friends with minors in the first place, or should learn how to control herself in her jokes around minors.
Damn, I feel like I just said that. We're you and I on the same wavelength. You just have to learn how to crop your screenshots better, my guy.
In another case, if she had exclusively been making those jokes with me, that is when I consider this special treatment. Because
oh my god, Kai's actually smart. What the fuck?
Only would it be weird, but totally creepy too.
Oh my god, it's like they actually realize that Quartelz talks this way to everybody, and it would be grooming if they were just doing it with them. Oh my god, there's a smart person in the room!
Maybe asking, what now?
Yeah, it's like, I like sex jokes, but it ain't hard to have self-control. Exactly.
Well, I recommend not associating with Mel through any platforms.
Oh my god, okay. Deplatform! Deplatform! Shut the fuck up. Alright. So, we got that out of the way.